Our reading today is an interpretation, a rewriting of Psalm 94 by Nan Merrill from her book Psalms for Praying. It is just a section of Psalm 94. She writes, "O heart of pure fire, you who cleanse and refine us, compassionate one, shine forth. In your mercy, rise up and awaken those who still sleep in ignorance. O heart of all hearts, break open the hearts of your people, that we might hear and heed your word. When will the ignorant awaken? When I recognized my wrongdoings, your steadfast love renewed me, O compassionate one. The statutes of truth are not certain, and the awakening a promise to be fulfilled. Who will be ready for the new dawn?" Therein ends the reading. When I entered the ICU, I felt as though I was walking on holy ground. Other than the beeping, buzzing, and ticking of machines, it was quiet. It was the surgical ICU, so my patients were in recovery from major procedures: brains, backs, hearts. I had gentle conversations with them if they were awake, or sat silently beside family members while they watched their loved one sleep. But there was something about the heart patients that I will never forget. The day after a major cardiac procedure, often a patient still had some tubes in their chest, which would have to be removed. So the surgical site was still open. As I sat beside them, what I saw, and I will say ahead of time, I am no doctor, but what I saw covering their open chest looked like a bunch of cotton balls covered by a piece of saran wrap. All that there was between my patient's heart, their tender, beating, healing heart, and my own, was a wad of fuzz and a thin piece of plastic. And yet there they were, ready for a new dawn. Though it has been many months since I've stepped foot in a hospital, I've been thinking a lot lately about hearts. This vital organ, the size of a fist, the size of my fist, that which keeps the physiological systems going, that keep us alive, that which connects us emotionally and spiritually with the people we love the most, which breaks and heals and breaks again, and may be at times separated from the world by just a little bit of cotton and a little bit of plastic. O heart of all hearts, Nan Merrill writes as the psalmist, break open the hearts of your people. What an ask, right? Break open our hearts so that we might remember that where I end and you begin is in some ways a mystery. Break open our hearts so that we might remember that which separates us is so very thin, that we are all connected, and that we are all walking around with tender beating hearts, so exposed these days, so ready for a new dawn. I'm thinking about hearts because the more I pay attention, the more I understand that the very human institutions that are breaking our hearts cannot be where I ultimately put my faith. The seeds of healing, of liberation, and of love have never been and will never be found in the Supreme Court or the FDA or the Oval Office. They have been planted, tended, and nourished in the holy ground between my heart and yours. In the love that dwells and moves within and between us, in that space where I end and you begin, where God resides. That space between my heart and yours is what moves me to work and speak and act on behalf of the most vulnerable members of the human family, on behalf of connection and communion. And so, yes, we vote. Through hell and high water, we vote. But we do not place our faith in the deeply broken human institutions in which we cast our ballots. We believe in democracy, but we do not entrust democratic institutions with our salvation. For we know that ultimately it is love present in the connections between us, that space between my heart and yours, where we must put our faith. So though the protection may be thin, I will keep my heart open, and I will plant seeds of hope for the coming of a new dawn. Will you join me? May it be so. Amen.